put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. And we're heading on into our final segment for this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. And Rhea, who do we have coming up now?
Well, Julian, we're going to be chatting this morning with Fitzherbert Glen Niles, who is the founder and chairman of the Down Syndrome Family Network. He should be on the line with us even as we speak. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Oh, I'm now trying to find a louder volume now. Morning, everyone. Morning to Tobago. And thank you for having me on board here.
All right, thank you so much for joining us on set this morning. So as we get the conversation started, you are the founder and chairman of Down Syndrome Family Network. And just before we tap into the upcoming conference for 2023, I just want you to give us just a quick synopsis. How has that experience been in a world where people have to learn and understand that even with challenges that may come, we got to live as one society collectively, supporting each other?
You picked the hardest question to ask me first.
We're getting straight on it.
Yeah, well, straight on hard. You went straight pretty good. All right, well, that is the most difficult part of this whole thing. And it's not only having society understand that people with intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities are part of society and should be included in society. It's even us as parents understanding that first, because it starts with us. Like when my son was born, and I always have to say I was lost. I had no idea what Down syndrome was. I had no idea how to cope, what kind of future he will have, and I couldn't find the answers here, literally. The people that I saw with Down syndrome, they weren't doing anything at all. In fact, you hardly saw anybody. Most of them were kept at home. They were hidden away. People were ashamed of them, and that still happens today. With persons with Down syndrome and other disabilities, and that was my experience. So I started to look outside. Look at international organizations, and I realized that there was a larger support system, outside. And I attended a conference and became affiliated with that organization, the National Down Syndrome Congress, and that they are based in Atlanta. And then we have the National Down Syndrome Society that's based in New York. Those were the two primary organizations that I started to follow. And the Congress had this annual conference, and that conference was the catalyst. That was it. That changed my life forever, attending that conference. And for the first time in my life, I never saw so many people with Down syndrome in one place. And the biggest mark was looking at them and seeing how independent some of them were. In fact, the majority of them, they were very independent. I would see them from the checking into the hotel for the conference. I mean, this was a huge conference with over 3,000 attendees. This was back in, I think, 2007, 2008. And I'm seeing all these families coming in, and all the children, various ages, from toddlers to young adults to adults, coming in with Down syndrome. And in a few cases, parents would be holding the hands of adults coming in. But in the majority of cases, they were walking on their own. They were carrying their own luggage. And after they checked in and the parents went up to the room, they went off on their own with their friends. Because this conference is an annual conference. So it's like a reunion, an annual reunion for people who attend every year. And so they meet up their friends in the lobby, and you see them hugging and kissing, just like what the average teenager or the average young adult would be doing. So, I stood there with probably my jaw resting on the ground. looking at all of this. I mean, coming from Trinidad, where I thought of seeing people with Down syndrome out and about, far more to see them interacting like this was mind blowing to me. And then during the course of the conference, I started to understand why this was possible. And the main reason was integration. You know, a lot of the children, the young adults with Down syndrome who were more independent, it is because they were part of an inclusive educational system. They went to school, the average school with everybody else. They did separate classes, they did some separate modules, but they attended the same school. You know, they weren't separated, they were not segregated, you know, and sent to a special school with only persons with disabilities. You know, they attended the same school. And so certain classes would be integrated where and certain classes were not, you know, dependent on what courses they were doing. And that is what made them into this more independent individual because of that opportunity. And well, as I said, that changed my life. When I came back, all the thoughts I had of what the future of my son would be like, that was changed in an instant. I stopped doing everything for him
Yeah.
because, you know, as a parent, I love my son, and I thought that doing everything for him, helping him, you know, shower, dress, even cut up, you know, his meal, um, and make it easy for him to eat. I was just making everything easy. And unfortunately, what I was doing is hindering his development because I wasn't giving him the opportunity to try things, to learn, to fail, to try again. So he would make mess when he's eating. But if I don't allow him to make mess and teach him how to eat properly without making mess, then he will make mess for the rest of his life. And that is what we were doing as parents until we learned differently. You know, with everything, it started with that. It started with just everything that we had to do for him. So his life changed, and ours changed as well. And now I look at him and I see the remarkable progress, and everybody would ask me, "How how is your son like that? You know, how he could do all of this?" Well, I'll tell him it wasn't easy. It was a very, very difficult road, but the whole thing is that we did not give up. We just kept doing it, and we see the results now. And we have other parents in the network, they are doing the same thing. And when you see the results of their children now, and their young adults now, some of them are employed, you know, actually functioning in a workplace. And that would not have been possible if they did not give them the opportunity, if they did not let go,
Yes.
you know, and let them thrive, let them learn on their own. And
Let me
that
ask
is
you.
what we are trying to get society to understand
Yes.
that they are not just special, and we do have to keep treating them special, and we do have to segregate them and lock them away in one school with only persons with disabilities. Then how will they learn? What are they seeing to emulate? And how will they understand society when society doesn't even know them because society is not.
Okay.
Really
Thank
speaking
you.
to you know, that experience there. And you know, sometimes it's probably the kind of the equivalence, if I want to say, in one's own circumstances where you think doing everything for, and that's really one of the standouts there for me. When you hear persons that have that level of commitment to the institution and organization, really, really kind of interesting. I'm hoping that we'd be able to get him back there. There was apparently some technical difficulties here in terms of his connection on that end.
But while we wait on him, while we wait for that reconnection, Julian, in the interest of time here, we have to mention here Rock Your Socks Week is coming up
Yes.
as we lead up to World Down Syndrome Day, which is going to be Monday. Monday on Tobago updates, Rock Your Socks Week. All right, so I guess as of Monday, we're going to be rocking socks. Julian, we're looking forward to seeing your socks being rocked.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I will be in that lineup without a hesitation to ensure, because we've got to bring that level of awareness
Yeah.
and support. And that's the point that I always make. The week is about being able to promote that level of awareness and support of folks. But it's not just about a day, or it's not just about a week, and it's not just about rocking your socks, but really seeking to understand, really seeking to be informed, really seeking to be educated, and to have some additional knowledge in relation to, the whole issue and learnings. And it's probably a good opportunity for us to pull up on screen very quickly. I know we lost him in the conversation with technical difficulties, but we still want to give you the information that is important. And there's that flyer that I'd like to pull up on screen. So it's open to all. And certainly, this is the initiative that Fitzherbert Glen Niles was on this morning to communicate with us about. It's open to all. Come join us, with us, not for us. All right. And that's the UN World Down Syndrome Day Conference 2023. It's happening here in Tobago. And it's Thursday, the 23rd of March, 2023, at the Shore Park Complex, Tobago, and that's next week, Thursday.
That's right.
The 23rd of March, 2023, at the Shore Park Cultural Complex, Tobago, and that runs from 9 a.m. And you see there's the full lineup of speakers, Deputy Chief Secretary, that's Dr. Faith B. Israel. We have a number of feature speakers and guest speakers who will also be on the lineup. Professor Rosemary Bell Antwine, a principal of the University of the West Indies St. Augustine campus. Guest speaker is also Assemblyman Zarisha Hackett, Secretary with responsibility for education, research, and technology. Senator Paul Richards, special presentation on the life and work of Judith Human. And, a number of areas to be captured and covered there coming up with this conference. So we really want to encourage persons, certainly, to check it out for more information. And we're hoping that we'll be able to have him on between then and now to really go into it in some more details, folks.
Most definitely. And I think it's an excellent point for us to wrap things up on here, Julian. And again, mention here that Rock Your Socks Week coming up. And again, it's all about awareness for persons with Down syndrome and persons who are special, different but equal. Yes. I know that was the theme last time. We would have loved to have heard from Mr. Niles, the theme for 2023 for Down Syndrome Day.
So I'm sure we're going to have him back on to be able to have further discussion. All right. So we're looking forward and it's not just Rhea and Julian and Candice and Chanel, and Keely and Dwayne and Luke rocking those socks. We want to see cameramen rocking those socks. We want to see directors rocking those socks, producers, the entire team here. Don't worry, folks. We're going to capture it on camera and put it out there for you on social media. Thank you so much for the continued love and support for the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here again live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. We're on the top floor.
That's right.
All right, folks, it's been great. All of you joining us via TV, those connecting on the radio, and those of you tuned in online, thank you once again. And we are heading on out for the Tobago Updates morning show. But stay tuned because we're heading straight on over Rhea to
GMT.
All right. Bye-bye, folks.